One lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean bigger than jackpot big. Since 2002, South Carolina students have benefited from more than $6 billion in lottery-funded scholarships and grants, including the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. With every lottery play, you're supporting our students, and that adds up in a big way. That's why education is our middle name. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
It's over! Fly, Eagles, fly!
Celebrate the big win with the official licensed Super Bowl champions gear. Available now at NFLshop.com.
The Eagles win it! Super Bowl 59!
From jerseys to hats to must-have collectibles, we've got everything you need to rep your team with pride. Don't wait. These styles won't last. Shop now at NFLshop.com and gear up like a champion.
Ever wondered what it feels like to be a gladiator, facing a roaring crowd and potential death in the Colosseum? Find out on the Ancients podcast from History Hit. Twice a week, join me, Tristan Hughes, as I hear exciting new research about people living thousands of years ago, from the Babylonians to the Celts to the Romans, and visit the ancient sites which reveal who and just how amazing our distant ancestors were. That's the Ancients from History Hit.
Thank Kevin O'Connell for joining us from the Indianapolis NFL Combine, and we segue to a division rival, a border rival, the Green Bay Packers, and chatting with Bill Michaels, one of our very favorites with the Wisconsin Sports Network. Bill covers the Green Bay Packers in second to none fashion, and you can follow him via the tweet machine at Bill_Michaels. Now, Bill, this is my 14th Combine, and I've never seen you here doing radio, or you also can watch Bill Michaels' show with the Wisconsin Sports Network. He's on the same time 9 to noon is on. What brings you here this year?
Well, I'm first time ever being here. A couple of people told me you might want to show your face down here. I got into a little trouble, a little snit with the team, so I thought, you know what, it might not be a bad opportunity to come down, shake a few hands, and say hi. So that's the reason I came down.
Right. I mean, I'm not the most bulldog of journalistic excellence, but you just said got in a little trouble with the team. What's that mean?
Well, I was critical of Jordan Love and some things that I had said they didn't like, and so I was really honest. I made a comparison between him and Jeff Blake. I thought some of the reads that he had this year were short. There were 2 reads 2 years ago, and the third read and some of the guys that were wide open this year he kind of missed and was a little bit slow to read. So I said it kind of reminded me of Jeff Blake in his second year. Once the NFL starts to figure you out, you now have to adjust, and he didn't do a good job with that. Part of it was the injuries through half of the season, but the other part of it, I said the mental side of it, now you got to figure out, so we'll see what year 3 holds.
What was the problem? I mean, because Jeff Blake, they think Jordan's markedly better than Jeff, or they thought it was unfair, or what?
They felt that I was criticizing his intelligence, and they even went as far as to say, "Are you criticizing him because he's a black quarterback?" Oh, wow. And so I just kind of put that to rest, and I said no. I said I it's not just me. It's just that I was the one that actually said it. I was the one that was outspoken. We're all sitting in the press box going, you see guys wide open. Why aren't you seeing them? And he's not seeing them as quick. So, the point being is that I want him to be a little bit better this year when it comes to being readable, because I know the offense it didn't flow the way it did last year. Last year it really started to flow second half of the season. This year never flowed at all.
The great Bill Michaels with the Wisconsin Sports Network.
And Bill, what else about this offense isn't, when you say it's not flowing around him, is it a quarterback-centric thing? Is it finally the offensive line? What else do you see that the Packers need to sharpen up to get back to what they were doing last year offensively?
Or maybe is it that he throws off his back foot so frequently?
I think all the above. I think first and foremost, he was injured in the beginning of the season, so they had to put him in shotgun a lot, and they didn't run him around. There was no read options or anything like that. Last year he was pretty good at it. They ran the ball a lot. Josh Jacobs became really the focal point of the offense. You had a few injuries along the way, but I think him staying in the pocket, not using his feet. 2 years ago he had 243 yards rushing. Not huge, but at least moving the football. This year he had 83. It tells you a lot. He wasn't going to be on the run. So when you look at that, I think the offense became very centric, very easy to read, but also the routes that were being run, you could see things develop, you could see guys get open, but he just wasn't hitting them. And then when they did have the open man, he was on the run, he was throwing off the back foot, his mechanics weren't good. I think it was a combination of things. That's why this year, offensively is so important.
Wow, with the money they gave him, they must be S-ing their P's.
Yeah, they got to be a little bit nervous, I guarantee on that. You guys still have one of the youngest, if not the youngest, rosters in the league. 12 of the last 14 first-round draft picks have gone the way of defense. Is that going to change this year to get more talent around Jordan Love?
I think two things that they have to get. They got to get wide receivers and maybe a little depth on the offensive line, but for the most part, you're going to go back to defense. You need an edge rusher. You need depth in the secondary. You could probably use another linebacker. Edgerrin Cooper really burst onto the scene. Quay Walker's coming off an injury, but it sounds like they're going to get rid of Jair Alexander. Eric Stokes, who was their first-round draft choice, who had the bad ankle injury, really never recovered from that and didn't look good this year. Keyshawn Nixon wants to be the cornerback number one, but he wasn't even that great as a nickel back. So they need depth in the secondary. So I think you're going to see another defensive heavy draft this year unless they fix one or two of those holes via free agency or a trade, which is still a possibility.
Well, what Bill Michaels at Bill_Michaels from the Wisconsin Sports Network. Paul Charchian and Bill are really good friends, and I met Bill through Charch, gone on the show a million times. Great to have him here with us 9 to noon at the Indianapolis Scouting Combine. The center, Josh Myers, is a free agent. And per the metrics people and some things that I've read, I guess he had kind of a shaky season. I've always looked at the Ohio State guy as maybe not one of the better centers in the NFL, but trustworthy and reliable. If they lose him, how much do you think that'll impact their moving company?
That's a great question because Zach Tom can play center, but he became one of the better right tackles in football. So that's one of the problems. Then you've got, obviously Jordan Morgan, who was a first-round draft choice last year, who was more of a guard than he is a tackle. So could he move to guard? Could he play center? Because that could be a question mark as well. Josh Myers was good. I don't think he's payable good, but he was good. So I think that's the reason they might go again, depth on the offensive line, move a few guys around.
All right, time for two more with Billy, Pete.
Watching film on the Packers, you guys have probably, as a collective group, one of the best defensive fronts in the league. How is that group starting to gel? I mean, I guess from the first person you put on the field to the last, it's still a pretty good group, but a couple of them are starting to get a little bit up there in age, are they not?
And TJ Slayton is a free agent.
Yeah, TJ Slayton, who I thought had a pretty good season last year, he's a free agent. Whether or not they bring him back, we'll have to wait and see. But Devontae Wyatt started to come on. This will be going into his third year. You got Quay Walker at linebacker, who was really starting to play well before his injury, but Edgerrin Cooper burst onto the scene. That guy jumps off the film at you. But Lucas Van Ness was a disappointment. That was their first-round draft choice a couple of years ago. And what they really wanted to do when they brought in Hafley was rush forward, much like we saw with the Philadelphia Eagles against Kansas City in the Super Bowl. Just rush forward and get to the quarterback and put pressure. They weren't able to do it without mixing and matching and stunning guys and bringing blitzes. They got to find somebody off of that other edge, whether that's via trade, free agency, whatever, but they got to find a bona fide, because you guys know as well as I do, a young edge rusher coming into the league has a move or two. You need, Reggie White told me years ago, you need 16. So if you don't have 16, you don't have a move, So they need a guy that's going to come in and kind of lead the defensive front, because Rashawn Gary's still good, but he's not great. But they need a great guy on the opposite end that's going to make everything flow.
All right, my final question is a two-parter. With all the coaches the Lions lost, do you think that will impact? They lost the coordinators, a bunch of coaches, Ben Johnson now with the Bears. Do you think that will impact the Lions next year? Secondly, how much run do you think Ben can get out of the Bears with all these draft picks and his innovative nature offensively?
That's a great question, because they always say, players will tell you, it's the Jimmies and Joes and not the X's and O's. So if it's truly that, then we know they shouldn't miss a beat, because Detroit is a hell of a team and they're stacked and they're going to get better defensively. Plus, when they get everybody back, including Aiden Hutchinson, we'll wait and see how that whole thing transpires. So I think Detroit's still the team to beat until they don't. But as far as the Bears go, you know as well as I do, being a head coach is a lot different than being a coordinator, because now you got to take care of everything. So I wonder how that's going to affect his ability as a play caller, with his attention to detail, with the quarterback development of Caleb Williams. All they need is a couple pieces, though. I think Caleb Williams is good. I just think he got put into a horrible situation early on in his career.
That's Bill Michaels with PA and Pete Bercich, live from the Indianapolis Scouting Combine. A short final segment around the corner. It's 9 to noon on the...
one lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean bigger than jackpot big. Since 2002, South Carolina students have benefited from more than $6 billion in lottery-funded scholarships and grants, including the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. With every lottery play, you're supporting our students, and that adds up in a big way. That's why education is our middle name. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
It's over! Fly, Eagles, fly!
Celebrate the big win with the official licensed Super Bowl champions gear. Available now at NFLshop.com.
The Eagles win it! Super Bowl 59!
From jerseys to hats to must-have collectibles, we've got everything you need to rep your team with pride. Don't wait. These styles won't last. Shop now at NFLshop.com and gear up like a champion.
Hey, I'm Don Wildman, and on American History Hit, my expert guests and I journey across the nation and through the years to uncover the stories that have made the United States. From first flight to first ladies, from stitching the Star-Spangled Banner to striking gold in California to shooting for the moon with Apollo, we've got you covered. Catch new episodes of American History Hit, a podcast by History Hit, every Monday and Thursday wherever you get your podcasts.